We made the exciting decision to visit Japan in the summer. We wanted to visit many areas outside of Tokyo. We can't wait to share with the Japanese people the things that we admire about your country. With that said, let's talk about our trip to the first prefecture, Hokkaido. We first arrived in the city Hakodate.
We went up this really tall tower and we got to look out at the big star fort, and it was so perfect and green and beautiful. We got ice cream at the top and it was milk flavored. My first milk only flavored ice cream. It's really, really good. Tastes like sweet milk.
Overall, we really like this city. We really wish that we could have stayed longer, but we had to move on to the next prefecture, Aomori. We really liked our stay in Aomori. There was a festival going on while we were there. There was lots of dances that were going on and some cool art displays. But the one thing, it was super hot while we were there.
August in Japan is really hot. Very humid, the most humid I've ever felt, probably. Even the locals were like, why are you here? You should come at a better time of year.
They were surprised that we came during probably the hottest month in Japan, but we still loved it. So one thing we noticed while we were in Aomori is that people actually would stop at crosswalks and wait patiently until the light turned green. It sounds so simple and like obviously you're supposed to do that, but even if there was no cars or nothing in their way, they could have crossed. But I just noticed that the Japanese people would wait patiently. I feel like most places in the world, people would just cross whenever they wanted to. We then took a beautiful train ride to the prefecture Iwate.
It was a beautiful train ride though. Like in the country, I feel like people were like even more kind. They were just a little bit more relaxed, little country folk.
We arrived at our train station, but I didn't realize how far our hotel was from the train station. And so as soon as we got off the station, I realized that we were very lost. I don't know where we are. We were so lucky about this actually. We saw one taxi cab driver sitting very close to the station, and without him, I don't know what we would have done. And so we go up to him and we begin telling him where we need to go. And luckily, this very kind Japanese lady who spoke really good English came up and helped to translate to the taxi cab driver where we needed to go. We were very lucky to have this lady to translate because we only had our credit card, and most taxi cabs in Japan seem to only take cash. So she was able to translate to the taxi cab driver that we needed to stop at a konbini, to an ATM, to get some cash out, and then to take us to our hotel. Just again, another experience that we had with very kind locals who saw that we were very lost and that we needed help. Our hotel was right by Jodogohama Beach.
So we got there and the sunset's just like beautiful, and you just see this like most beautiful scene you've ever seen in your life, and you just like, wow.
And the food that we had there was really delicious buffet.
With the view.
There was lots of really unique Japanese foods to try. Those little cake things that we love so much.
I like the little bite-sized cakes so much because it's like you can't eat too much. You just get like one at a time.
We woke up that morning to an amazing view.
So we saw everyone wearing this like same uniform, the guests, and we're like, ooh, I want one of those. We found them in our hotel room and we put them on. You feel refined, but also cozy at the same time. You're like, ooh.
Yukatas, that's what they were called.
So we put them on and we put on the little sandals. They didn't quite fit Jason's feet because they're universal size. And we went down to breakfast, and it was just really unique experience that I will remember forever.
It was great, and for breakfast I tried some natto. And a lot of people have talked to me about natto, and I was always a little bit scared to try it, but it was pretty good.
No.
I liked it. I'd eat it again. I think just trying a little bit.
Is it sticky?
Very sticky. It's like glue, almost.
It's a cool little packet that they have.
Yeah. Next time we go to Japan,
no.
Next trip, you're gonna try natto.
No. So in the morning, we went out to go check out the beach, and we went down this beautiful path through this like little mystical forest, and it was just so pretty. And it was lightly raining, but the hotel gave us umbrellas, and we got to explore the beach. It was so pretty with these sharp, pointy rocks coming out and the water flowing through them. Wow, it was so clear.
So one of my favorite parts of the trip was there was this building right beside this beach. And as you go inside and you go on the upper floor, there was this room with a massive, beautiful window. And it was just so cool because you had such a great view of this rock formation. And there was also this really beautiful, mystical music playing. I don't know what it was, but it was just so special. I don't know. We then began our journey to our next destination, Akita. And we saw a really cool Pikachu train.
Yeah, lots of trains in that area. They're just like all themed.
And we rode on this one train with this, it seemed like maybe a famous singer or something. I'm not sure who it was, but I'm hoping maybe you guys could tell me. The train ride to Akita was really beautiful, going through all these trees and these mountains. So we got to our hotel, and in the morning, we were ready for our big day. Linnell really wanted to film this snack reaction video. First of all, we get on this train, and it's a one-car train. I didn't even know that trains could just be one car. It's so funny. We walk up to the train, and I'm looking around like, where's the rest of it?
I made a plan that we would make a video of getting treats for each other, and then we would get the treats at the konbini, and then on the train we'd give them to each other.
Linnell has all these snacks for me to start looking at to see the surprises that she bought, and at the bottom of the bag was a pregnancy announcement. Linnell told me that she was pregnant.
Yes.
We are very excited that we'll be having a baby, but also very nervous on this trip because now we know she's pregnant, and we now know why she's been a little bit tired on the trip.
Extra tired, yeah.
Extra tired. The heat's been really hard for her, and now we have a really good explanation why. So once we arrive in Akita Prefecture, we have a taxi come pick us up, and something really cool about the taxis in Japan is the doors automatically open for you.
That is cool.
And it's something you have to get used to. A lot of times Linnell would reach for the door, but you just have to stand back because it's going to open. So we stopped by this really cool place called Wonder Castle.
Wonder Castle was really fun. There were lots of like fun picture opportunities.
And there's the gashapon machines. So we stopped by the gashapon machines for the first time.
This one's so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And look, it's a me. That's so cute. Crazy how many different ones there are. It's like you find one and you don't get it, you're like, wow, I'm never gonna find that one again.
And something I didn't know about Akita, but Akita dogs are named after Akita Prefecture.
They're pretty dogs.
Yeah, and they're very famous in Japan. I didn't know this, but Hachiko, you know that famous dog in Tokyo? Mm-hmm. That's an Akita dog.
Oh.
So we go back to Iwate Prefecture because we really want to see Gaibeki Gorge. We were at Ichinoseki Station, and there's a really big Pikachu display there. Do you remember that?
In this station, I saw in the bathrooms, which I hadn't seen before, a seat for your toddler in the same stall as you, that they can sit there while you go to the bathroom. They're not running around underneath the stalls. So we'll definitely be using that in the future.
Now this gorge was really beautiful. The super tall rock walls and riding through on this traditional style boat.
It was really fun. It was like everyone on this boat was like part of a team, and we're like looking at the other boats and like waving to them. You could buy a little fish food, and the fish were just, you know, we had like the same fish by us the whole trip. Like they were just like our little buddies.
We got to throw the food at them and watch them go crazy for it.
Yeah, and it was gorgeous. Yeah,
gorgeous. So one of my favorite things on this boat ride was the man controlling the boat was singing this traditional song. And it was really cool.
It's very unique, and it was really pretty.
Then onto Miyagi Prefecture. We check into our hotel, and there's a dinosaur that checks us in.
Nowhere else.
Only in Japan, where you have dinosaurs check you into your hotel.
And there's also a samurai.
Really cool having a samurai check you into your hotel. So this was in the city of Sendai. So that night, I wanted to go to the grocery store and to get my pregnant wife water. I buy some food, I buy some snacks, I buy some fruit, and I had a hard time finding the water, but I finally found a big jug. So I come back to the hotel, and I was really thirsty, so I opened this giant jug of water and took a big drink. And I didn't realize, but it wasn't water. I then look at the bottle and it says liquor on it. But it was very confusing because it looked just like water, and so I felt really stupid. But Linnell and I don't drink alcohol, and so that was a really silly moment for me. So that morning, we walk around the city, and we saw a lot of interesting things, but something really interesting for me was there was a treadmill for motorcycles. So downward, you can roll your motorcycle down the ramp, and then coming back up, there's a treadmill that it can help you take your motorcycle back up. I've never seen anything like that before.
No, because you can't take a bike up a escalator very well.
Escalators for motorcycles. That night, we had to experience a baseball game in Japan. So we went to the Rakuten Eagles game, and it was really fun to be able to go to a baseball game. There was lots of really delicious food that we were able to eat there, and the customer service was great. We didn't realize that the tickets we bought were all you could drink, and so we drank a lot of apple juice.
Was it orange juice?
We drank a lot of juice.
Because we don't drink, and hot chocolate, even though it was like super hot.
Now, the thing that surprised me the most at the baseball game was the Japanese people were very excited, very spirited to watch this game. We're used to seeing Japanese people very reserved, very quiet, but at this baseball game, everyone would cheer the same cheer in unison. And it was very fun to see how excited and animated they were. I feel like if you go to Japan, you have to go to a baseball game to experience that atmosphere.
Yeah, they were all like in unison when something would happen. The crowd really took over to make it fun.
We sat by some really fun people who really helped us to enjoy the game. Overall, we really like Sendai, a very beautiful city with very clean streets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really fun shopping area.
It was in the shopping area we ran into missionaries from our church, so it was really fun to be able to connect with them.
We found a gachapon shop, and I picked a cat that had a little shrimp around its waist. I actually gave it to my niece, and she loves it.
So then to Yamagata Prefecture.
While we were here, we saw a really huge mother's lounge, and I was like, whoa. I was very impressed. Made me want to come back with my baby.
Also, I guess this prefecture is famous for grapes because there was some really cool seats that were grapes. We then went through Fukushima Prefecture. One thing we noticed in this prefecture is the manhole covers were really decorative and almost just art pieces around the city.
They're beautiful.
I really wish we spent more time in Fukushima because it was a very beautiful city and the landscape around it was breathtaking. We really enjoyed the beautiful train rides along the way, being able to look outside the window and see all the scenery.
Beautiful.
On the way, we saw an old school train. We weren't sure what was going on, but we saw a lot of photographers taking pictures, so naturally, we decided that we needed a picture as well. We don't know why it was famous, but it looks really cool. And then we saw a train that was Thomas the Train themed. Now, Thomas the Train is very popular in America, so it was really cool to see a train based off Thomas the Train.
We took a beautiful bus to go see some beautiful waterfalls, and there was this one stretch where we were the only ones in the bus, and the bus driver was like, do you guys want to get out and take a picture? Because it was this gorgeous view of Mount Fuji, just with these beautiful fields. And so we got out, took the picture, and while we were out, we're like, is he gonna drive away with our luggage? But he didn't. He was nice.
Now, this was your first time seeing Mount Fuji.
Yes, like actually seeing it. I think I saw it like really tiny far away in the winter, but not the same. Walking to the waterfall, we walked over these really cool bridges, super cool bridges. But as we got closer to them, there were these like massive spiders that I've never seen this type of spider before in my life. And they had webs everywhere, like intense webs with intense looking spiders, and they're just everywhere.
I was a little scared to cross the bridge because I just didn't want to hit my head and get that spider on me.
We were hopeful that other people had already walked through.
Walking down and seeing Shiraito Falls was amazing. Just how open it was and how expansive the waterfall seemed to go.
It's like you were in a bowl of waterfalls. And as we're walking down, I still remember it was just like so magical. There's like a gorgeous butterfly like floating around.
It was so beautiful. I feel like we could have stayed there a very long time.
I feel like time stopped.
We then went to Yamanashi where we saw amazing views of Mount Fuji.
We got to go to the famous Lawson and look at Mount Fuji, and it was really fun. A lot of people were actually there doing the same thing we were, but it was fun to take pictures, and it was just really huge and beautiful, and pretty sure it was kind of like reddish because we were there during sunset.
So then we were off to Nagano, and on the way we saw a Naruto themed train, another really cool themed train in Japan. We also stopped by Vieille de France because we saw some really beautiful pastries.
They have lots of beautiful pastries. We got a lot of them. My favorite one was this round apple cake. It was delicious.
We stayed the night in Matsumoto and we found this amazing burger shop, Chop Burger.
We got so lucky. It was kind of like hard to find, but we go up there, we're like the only ones in there, and they're like the most beautiful tall burgers with little samurai swords on top.
It was so good. It was such a nice touch to have the samurai sword stuck
We wanted to keep them, but we didn't.
I know America, a lot of people eat burgers, but I will argue that some of the burgers I ate in Japan are way better than America. And the staff there were just incredibly nice to us. And I didn't realize this, but I feel so bad because I'm really bad at trip planning sometimes, but Matsumoto Castle was in this city, one of the most famous castles in Japan.
Oh, but we just went right by it.
We just passed through. I feel so bad I wasn't able to see it. We then went up the mountains to see Kamikochi.
The Alps of Japan. I was very excited to go to Kamikochi, and it did not disappoint. So beautiful, the water and the mountains, and it was really fun to go across the bridge and then go down by the water. I stuck my feet in the water. It just felt so good to be like in this beautiful scenery.
We took a bus from Kamikochi to Gifu Prefecture. It was really amazing because we went through this really cool tunnel, just a really pretty bus ride. We then rode a gondola up the mountain.
And we did get a lot of clouds, but it was still really cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool to take the gondola through the clouds.
Into clouds, out of clouds.
We stayed at an onsen hotel. This was also my first time going to an onsen. I love being able to go to an onsen, just being able to feel almost at one with nature. Now I'm kind of obsessed with going to onsens. The next prefecture was Toyama. And the first thing we did there is we went to this restaurant with a grill that was on the table.
That was really fun. We got to cook our own meat, and some of the meats, Jason didn't tell me what they were so that I would still eat them. And what was it, like cow tongue?
Something
but it was
like
still
that.
really good.
It was really fun to be able to order our food on the tablet and just have it come to us.
There are so many options. They're all so delicious, and it was like all you could eat delicious food.
We also saw an amazing Buddha statue while we were there.
It was huge.
Very huge. At Ishikawa Prefecture, we wanted to try another burger while we were in Japan. So we went to Samurai Burger. And the chef there did an excellent job, and he was also really kind.
Yeah, Samurai Burger, they have great, I really liked their salad. We wrote our name on the wall, and hopefully you can still see it.
I then went to Kanazawa Castle. I wasn't able to see the Matsumoto Castle, but I did get to see the Kanazawa Castle. It was really amazing with the moat and the massive stone walls. I didn't realize that the castle was going to be so big, but there was so much to walk through and see. I then was able to go to Kenroku-en, which was the beautiful garden there, super famous and absolutely breathtaking. Just being able to feel the peace as you walk through the garden, and I could tell that so much care was being placed on all the plants and everything else that was there. We then went to Fukui Prefecture. Now I have a close friend that is from Fukui Prefecture, so it was really cool to be there. And I guess Fukui Prefecture is famous for dinosaurs. It was really fun to be at this train station in Fukui because there were dinosaurs placed all around. It felt like I was in Jurassic Park.
Dinosaur statues.
Yes, they were not real dinosaurs. Aichi Prefecture was next. And we stayed in Nagoya where we had a beautiful view of the entire city. So while we were in Nagoya, we went to the aquarium.
The dolphin show was really cool. They had them doing all sorts of things that I've never seen done.
It was amazing how high they would jump out of the water.
They jumped so high.
Yeah.
They even had the orca do tons of cool tricks. I don't think you can see an orca in America anymore, but they had an awesome orca whale, and he was beautiful.
There's also a famous bookstore that was really cool to see. This is also something famous, probably from Instagram, but being able to see the books stacked really high. I really enjoyed my time in Nagoya. There were a few nights where I was able to walk around the city and soak up the atmosphere that was there. It was really fun to be able to hear the music and see the cool statue. Nagoya is definitely a city that I want to be able to visit again. And we really want to be able to go back because we know that there's so much that we missed. Thank you everyone for helping us reach 40,000 subscribers. It really helped encourage us to go back to Japan.
Click the subscribe button to see all our adventures.